Today's story is called The Mountain and the Boy. A tale of wonder, courage, and a bond with nature. Let's begin this beautiful journey together. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the edge of a great forest, lived a young boy named Kian. Kian was curious, full of dreams, and always looking at the distant snowy mountain that towered over his village. The villagers believed that no one could climb it, that it was cursed, dangerous, and impossible. Kian, however, saw something different. To him, the mountain wasn't just rocks and snow, it was a challenge, a call to adventure. His grandfather once told him, "Every great person climbs their own mountain. The brave don't wait for the path to be easy, they create it." Since then, Kian would often sit on a rock and stare at the mountain, dreaming of standing at its peak. One day, while playing near the forest, Kian found an old map, half buried under the roots of a tree. The map showed a trail, faint and winding, leading to the top of Snowy Mountain. Excited, he ran home and told everyone, "I'm going to climb the mountain." The villagers laughed. "You're just a boy," said the blacksmith. "It's not a place for dreamers," added the baker. Even his friends shook their heads. No one ever came back from that place, Kian. But Kian's heart was set. Early next morning, with a small backpack, some food, his grandfather's compass, and the old map, he began his journey. The first challenge, the Forest of Doubts. As he entered the forest, the trees seemed to whisper. The deeper he went, the darker it got. Suddenly, he heard a voice, not a human voice, but a strange, cold whisper. "You can't do this," it said, "you're too small. Too weak." Kian hesitated. Fear gripped him. He sat under a tree, heart pounding. But then he remembered something his grandfather used to say, "Fear is a liar. Listen to your heart, not your fear." Taking a deep breath, Kian stood up, lit his lantern, and said out loud, "I can do this." The whispers faded, the path lit up, and he kept walking. The second challenge, the River of Failures. After days of walking, Kian reached a wide, furious river. There was no bridge, just slippery rocks and strong currents. He tried to cross, but slipped and fell. He tried again, and fell again. Tired, cold, and wet, he sat on the bank. Just then, he saw a small ant, struggling to carry a leaf across the riverbank. The ant fell again and again, but kept trying. Finally, it made it. Kian smiled. "If a tiny ant doesn't give up, why should I?" He took out a rope from his bag, tied it to a tree, and slowly, step by step, crossed the river. The third challenge, the Mirror of Truth. Near the mountain base, Kian found a cave. Inside, he saw mirrors, not ordinary mirrors, but magical ones. As he looked into them, he didn't see himself, but his fears, failing, being laughed at, getting lost. He closed his eyes, afraid. Then he remembered his dream, standing at the top, arms wide, smiling at the sky. Opening his eyes, he looked straight at the mirrors and said, "You're not real. I believe in myself." The mirrors cracked and vanished, revealing a narrow path to the mountain. The final climb. As Kian climbed, snow began to fall. The air was thin, cold, biting his skin. His legs hurt, and he was tired. Many times he thought of turning back, but every time he closed his eyes, he saw his village, the people who laughed at him, and the dream of proving that nothing is impossible. At last, after days of struggle, he reached the top. The world looked different. Endless skies. Clouds below him. Silence, peaceful and pure. Kian shouted, "I did it." Tears rolled down his face. Not because of the cold, but because he had believed when no one else did. The return. Kian returned to the village weeks later. He looked tired, but his eyes sparkled. He had changed, not just outside, but inside. The villagers gathered around, in shock and awe. "How did you do it?" they asked. Kian smiled and said, I climbed one step at a time. I didn't stop when it was hard. I believed when others doubted. The mountain wasn't just outside, it was inside me. And now, I know, no mountain is too big if your courage is bigger. From that day, Kian became a symbol of hope. Children started dreaming again. People dared to try. And the once feared mountain became a place of inspiration, not fear. Moral of the story: every child has a mountain to climb, a dream, a fear, a goal. The world might doubt you, challenges may scare you, and failures will test you. But if you have courage, faith, and kindness, you can achieve anything. Be like Kian. Don't fear the mountain, become the mountain. If you liked this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel and keeps the stories coming. And let me know in the comments what you felt about the mountain and the boy. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching.